As you can see from this drawing, I've got a basic AEC wall with a window, AEC window inserted into the wall. I've set up my window so it has very little detail because I want to show you how you can add custom blocks to windows to create more detail. On my screen over here, I've got at the top a couple of polylines that I've drawn as that I want to use as a detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that into a block. So I'm going to select it and make it a block. I'm going to give it a name. Let's call it detail 1. I'm going to give it an origin by snapping to the midpoint of those 2 points, and I click on OK, which simply creates a block called detail 1. Now if I go to the AEC window and I select the window, from the context sensitive menu I've got the option to edit the window style, which will then give me a tab where I can move to the display properties of that window, and in this case I'm going to modify the plan information. So once I click on plan and I go to properties, it gives you some information regarding layers, colors and line types, etc. But if I go to other, we've got the ability to add custom blocks to the window itself. As you can see from this list, there are no custom blocks currently added, so I'm going to add one. Once again, at the top it will give me a list of the detail block that I've created. Below that I can position it, mirror it, outside, inside, wherever your component should be placed. At the bottom, as you can see, it's on the left hand side. I want it to be centered, and it should have an X offset of 50 millimeters, as I know the frame is 50 millimeters. And as you can see from the picture or preview, it places it over there. Once I click on OK, that's the first block that I've added. So I can add another one. In this case, I'm going to add the detail 1 once again, places it in the same position, but in this case you can mirror it along X and Y. In this case, mirror X, I'm going to center it, position it on the right hand side, once again in the center, but with an offset of 90, which is basically minus 90, which is basically the frame size as well as the size or horizontal dimension of the detail itself. So in this case I've placed two details on both sides, 2 blocks on both sides to that window, as you can see in the list. When I apply that and I click on close, let's just get back to this information. Override, object override. I haven't overridden it, which means it applied that detail or those blocks to all the windows using that particular style. If I have applied an overridden property over there, it would have only applied that to the current window that I'm working with. Once I close that dialog box, you will see the window now has the detail as I've mentioned before. If I move to all the other windows that were done using that style, that detail will also now be included in all the other windows as well.